MotoGP and the FIM Superbike World Championship, also known as WSBK, are both world-class motorcycle championships that have huge following and entertain fans throughout the year with full throttle, edge of your seat motorcycle racing. Both series are governed by the FIM and both series conform to different sets of technical regulations set by DORNA, the FIM ruling body. On the surface, these two series appear pretty similar. They both see top riders racing motorcycles on the best race circuits around the world in a multi-stop championship. But that's where the similarities end. Bikes, budgets, team, race circuits, fans, and prize money all differ between the two championships, producing two very different types of racings. We thought we'd take a closer look at the differences between the world's top two motorcycle racing championships. Team budgets. The team budgets are undoubtedly much higher in MotoGP than they are for teams in the World Superbike Championship. In MotoGP, teams can spend as much as they like on bikes, testing, equipment, staff, etc. Unlike in the Superbike World Championship, where team spending on bikes, riders, and R&D is all limited. The bikes. Although the bikes that race in the MotoGP and the Superbike World Championship might look pretty similar, under the hood, they are very different machines. The bikes that race in the FIM Superbike World Championship are basically race-tuned versions of motorcycles that are available for the public to buy in their local motorbike shops. They are also known as production bikes. By contrast, MotoGP bikes are purpose-built race machines or prototypes that have far fewer restrictions and are not available to the public. This means MotoGP bikes can be custom made from the ground up and subsequently are lighter due to the use of high tech materials such as carbon fiber, titanium, and magnesium, and faster due to the lack of restrictions on engine tuning. Although the restrictions that are put in place WSBK might impede bike development, they do make it financially much more accessible for new teams to enter than MotoGP. Some would argue that it makes the racing fairer too, as it can't become a case of which team can spend the most money. So essentially, MotoGP can be thought of as the motorcycle world's equivalent of Formula One, whereas superbike racing is more like sports car or touring car racing. ECU and bike software. MotoGP bikes are fitted with standardized ECUs, also known as engine control units, and software packages to try to keep the competition fair. In the Superbike World Championship, the choice of ECU and software is open for teams to choose from, but it is of course restricted by spending limits. The teams differ greatly between MotoGP and WSBK, with some manufacturers entering teams in both series, whereas others will choose one or the other. Both series have teams from Honda, Ducati, Yamaha, Aprilia, and now Suzuki entering, but only the Superbike World Championship sees BMW and Kawasaki in the lineup, whereas only MotoGP sees KTM take to the grid. The team in MotoGP have much higher budget than the teams in WSBK and are notorious for having all the latest gadgets, techs and parts as well as top mechanics. Racing season. The MotoGP season is considerably longer than the WSBK season, with 19 international rounds that run from early March to late November. The Superbike World Championship calendar, on the other hand, only has 13 international rounds that run from mid-February to late October. Some of the races held by both series take place on the same circuits around the world, and some are held at locations unique to that series. For example, in the UK, the MotoGP is held at Silverstone and Superbike World Championship is held at Donington. Over in the USA, the WSBK is held at the WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, California, and the MotoGP race takes place at the Circuit of America, Texas. Both series hold a round of Lusail in Qatar as well as Phillip Island Grand Prix Circuit in Australia. The fans at both World Motorcycle Series are fantastic. It is well known that motorcycles race fans in general are enthusiastic, knowledgeable, and all at the races have a good time. With some of the biggest fan clubs in motorsport history, however, the fans at MotoGP take it to the next level. Cesar Fred for Marc Marquez and Yellow for Valentino Rossi have been known to take over GP circuits as armies of fans bring colored t-shirts, flags, and smoke grenades to help cheer on their favorite riders in truly spectacular style.